Hello, I'm an eternal student. Everybody thinks I'm just pissing about avoiding the world of work. Hey guys, it's Jamie and you guys wanted more PhD content, so here it is. And this is the first of a series that I have planned all about doing a PhD and then talking about what I'm doing as well eventually once I get there. So I am doing a PhD in psychology in the UK, and very broadly what I can tell you right now that my research is looking into the behavioural development, well-being and sexual arousal of people who are transgender. I have just started my second year of my PhD 2 months ago, and I am now officially a bona fide, real life confirmed PhD student. Because, fun fact, I didn't know this before I started a PhD. During your first year, or whenever your university does confirmation, you're not actually like a proper PhD student. You're on like a dual course of PhD and MPhil, and if you basically don't do well enough in your first year, you don't progress onto PhD status. That's the short story. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yes, I am now actually a PhD student. Yes. But over the past year and a bit of doing a PhD, I have realised some truths, some realities of what it's really like, and yeah, I'm gonna share those with you now. Bear in mind that these may be quite specific to me, or like the topic I'm doing, or the university I'm at, and it can differ depending, but here are just some like general things that I've found a bit weird. Number one, and the most prominent one, and the one that I hate the most, is that people think I'm doing a PhD simply to avoid getting a real job. Quite a few people, when I tell them I'm doing a PhD, joke with me and just like, yeah, so that you can just be a student forever and you don't have to get a real job and you can just doss about doing nothing. And I'm just like, no. The reality is that sometimes I just think it would be much easier to have a 9-to-5 job and not have to bring work home all the time and not just be stressed and just PhD. No. And I've had like genuine like grillings of what is the purpose of doing a PhD, like why? What is the point in doing this? You're being paid to do something that's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, like blah. I'm not gonna get into that too much because I will get mad. Number two, imposter syndrome is so real. So real. Oh my god, it's painfully real. I'd heard about it before I started my PhD. Basically, imposter syndrome is where you don't feel good enough to be in the position you're in, you constantly feel like you're gonna be found out as being a fraud and then like kicked out or whatever, it's that kind of thing. It is real. It's like a genuine thing and I feel it pretty much constantly. I always feel like I'm not good enough to be doing a PhD. I feel like, how the heck did I get my funding? I don't deserve this. Other people are so much better than me. Any day now my supervisor is going to turn around and be like, oh, yeah, you're not good enough anymore. I've realised that now. And I really hate it when people ask me what I'm doing and I'm like, oh, I'm doing a PhD. And this is second to the response being like, oh, you're just a lazy student. I really hate it when people's responses are, oh, you must be really clever then, because I don't feel like I am. And like, there's loads of different types of being clever, so it's like a very generalized statement anyway. And I'm just like, oh, no. Number three, I have thoughts of wanting to quit my PhD at least 3 times a day. Like when I'm reading a particularly boring paper that seems like it was written specifically to send you to sleep. Or I can't work out why my graphs look completely wrong, they're more like an ugly roller coaster than their really nice, neat, straight line that my supervisor got. Or when I show up at 8 AM ready to run a participant for the next 2 hours and they don't turn up and I'm just left there like. Number 4, but also about 5 times a day, I feel very lucky to be doing a PhD and I absolutely love it. Because you know, on the other hand, this paper isn't so bad and I'm going to be finished reading it in about 10 minutes time. And you know what? I like a good challenge, so let me go back and figure out what I've done wrong with my graph and then I will get like the best sense of achievement once I figured it out. And I also just really like fundamentally believe in my research and I enjoy doing my research. I enjoy analysing the data, I enjoy doing the write-up, I just enjoy the whole challenge and structure of doing a PhD and the flexibility of it at times, and just, I really enjoy it, but then I hate it and I don't know how I feel. It's a very conflicting situation. I mostly love it, but then I have like really intense things of like, this is too stressful, my brain can't cope, I'm gonna lose all my hair before I graduate, what the fuck am I doing with my life? And finally, number 5, I get asked what I want to do when I finish my PhD so many times that I really wish I got paid to give an answer. And the answer is that I really have no idea. I have no idea. I primarily am doing my research not for a love of research, although I do really enjoy it, but like to help the trans community. Doing research has just made me realise that there's like too much red tape, it's too high up to filter down and actually be of any use like soon. Like quickly, it takes time. And I want to be more like on the ground, helping people in real time, doing stuff like that. So I'm very glad I've done a PhD, but I'm definitely not gonna like carry on doing research and going into academia and stuff. But then you have people who are like, well, why are you doing one then if you're not gonna be an academic? What's the point? But actually, like, a small percentage of people doing PhDs actually go into doing academia. This was just like a quick video on some realities of being a PhD student. I have other videos planned. If there's certain things you would like me to cover, then I will. I'm not gonna go into like a huge amount of detail in terms of like my findings and what I'm doing with my research, because I've not finished doing my research and I've not written it up yet, so I'm gonna wait until that's all done and I can do like a really comprehensive video on it. But yeah, anything else you would like to see in and around the topic of doing a PhD, I am more than happy to make it. I love talking about it, even though I hate it sometimes, but we've already covered that, I don't need to say it again. And yeah, I have done this whole video with the battery flashing at me, so I'm very proud of myself. Maybe that's why I'm talking so quickly. I'm sorry. I hope you're able to comprehend this video. If you liked it, maybe think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, but no pressure if you don't want to. And yeah, that's it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye!